If you need level 40, unlimited, or anything else grinded here in Season 3, make sure to hit up Rose NBA for fast, safe, and reliable grinding services. Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're doing part 2 of this best cards tier list here in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM, joined by special guest Evan Tanaka today. We did the first 20 cards of this 40 card tier list over on his channel. I'll leave a link to his channel down in the description below. Make sure y'all go drop him a sub, show him some love. If y'all use Twitch, go follow him on Twitch as well. I'll leave a link to his Twitch down in the description as well. But excited to get into this second part of the tier list. Again, if y'all didn't watch part 1, go watch that so you can get our opinions on all these first 20 cards. But how are we doing today, Evan? What's going on, bro?
I'm hyped, man. I'm actually really hyped to get through these last 20 cards. I think if you guys want to go watch the first video, definitely recommend it, because as you guys can see on JC's screen, we've already gone over 20 cards. We got like 5 guys in S tier. We're all over the place. So if you guys want to hear our explanations and all that type of stuff, make sure to watch my video and then come back, or you can watch it however you want, but make sure you guys watch this video because there is going to be a pretty big debate happening later. So make sure you guys stick around.
I don't know if debate is the right word, but complaint,
Maybe
whatever.
Debate,
Y'all will see.
Yeah.
But one card in particular, regardless. Kristaps Porzingis, first player on this list. I think he's A tier. I don't think he's a top 10 card in the game, but I do think he's very, very good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Also, just to mention, S tier is our top 10 cards, so that's why we're only gonna have 10 guys in that S tier category. Kristaps, though, 1000% A tier. I like him more than a guy like Hakeem. I think Kristaps the third best center in the game. Might be a little bit debatable over a guy like Hakeem, but for me, definitely A tier.
I'm probably taking base Hakeem over KP personally. I said that in Evan's video as well, but it's close. They're both incredible. KP's probably the best stretch big in the game, and he's 7'3" with decent speed. Like, very, very good card for sure. Lamelo. We might have a debate on this one because I don't think you're high on Lamelo, but I kind of am.
I love Lamelo.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I was going to say A tier.
He's the third best. Yeah, third best point guard in my opinion, right behind Penny and Lonzo.
He's kind of my favorite card to use right now, but that's probably because he's brand new and because he's got a really good release at PG. I wish this annoys me. They messed up his badges. I'll pull them up on 2KDB real quick. I'm sure many of y'all have already seen this. We talked about it in our gameplay videos with this card. The fact he can't get limitless range, he can't get agent threes, he can't get posterizer, limitless takeoff, clamp breaker, anchor, brick wall, etc. Bronze clamps can't be upgraded, silver glove, silver interceptor. There's so many badges there that he doesn't get. And it's like, I understand he's got the best animations of any PG in the game right now. He's 6'7". They don't want to make him too great, but at least let him get a few of these badges. Like, come on. To be fair, he'd be the best point guard in the game by a mile if he could get all these badges. But even without him, I still think he's A tier. He's very good. It just annoys me that he's missing some of these badges.
Not even gonna lie, I did not even know he didn't have limitless range. What?
It's a lot of missing badges.
What?
Yeah, we're talking.
How does he?
I mean, to be fair,
it's Lamelo.
the most famous clip of Lamelo pre-NBA, and maybe even including NBA, is the half-court shot where he pointed at the line.
Yeah.
Telling me that guy doesn't have limitless range? Come on.
At least gold, or maybe at least on silver.
I mean,
or something. Like,
something.
It should be Hoff, but I mean, at least gold. Like, at least give him something.
I mean, it's annoying, but he's still so good because of his animations. It almost doesn't matter. Yeah. LeBron, I think, is a top 10 card. Is that a crazy take?
It's crazy because I'm a LeBron fan, so it's nuts for me not to agree with that. But I don't know, because I just did a top 10 best card video as well. I know you did as well. Did you have him in your top 10?
I don't actually remember 100%, right? But I think I did because I think he's a top 10 card.
Okay. You didn't have him top 10. I'm debating between him and Paul George. I think that was kind of my debate. Him, T-Mac, Paul George.
I'd take him over PG because he's a better slasher than PG animation-wise. He's got a slightly better player build. Yes, probably taking over T-Mac. Because T-Mac doesn't give you the defense that LeBron does at the 3. And T-Mac, while being very good offensively, like, he's not a top 2 or 3 shooting guard. At the 3, I'm taking LeBron over because of the defense and the player build and the slashing and all those things. So I think LeBron's a top 10 card. I really do.
Yeah. Agree with that, yeah.
Next we got Lonzo. Lonzo's very good. Great defensive PG. Obviously has really solid size. Does not move well offensively. That is his main flaw, is the fact that he doesn't move particularly well. He's not going to be a great shot creator. Release is kind of meh. A tier? Low A?
I think A tier. I'm actually curious, where do you rank him on your top 3-5 point guards?
I think he is the 4th best point guard in the game, in my opinion.
So who do you have? Penny, Magic,
Penny, Lamelo, and Lonzo. I might take Lamelo over Penny at 2, but I think Magic's my favorite PG because of the fact he's 6'9". It's all about play style, though, to a certain extent. The fact he's 6'9", he's not my primary ball handler, so having that type of size, mashing ability, switchability, all those things are really valuable. So
for me, definitely Lonzo A tier for sure.
Yeah, Marbury's going D tier. He's 6'3". He's just a slightly better D Rose. I mean, I understand. Evan made this tier list. He wanted to throw in some diamonds, but he's not a bad card by any means. He's one of the best. Like, he's probably the best super cheap auctionable PG that you can buy. But he's not on the level of these bigger, better PGs at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I threw him on this list because, I mean, if you look at our tier list, like, we got Kristaps and Rudy Gay in B and A tier.
Yeah.
So it's not like these diamond cards are bad. But yeah, I do agree, Marbury. I threw him on this list because I know a lot of people like him, and me included. Like, he's a very good point guard. And I'm sure there's some people down below that be saying maybe in C tier, because I think you could make an argument for him over a guy like Cade. But obviously, I don't agree with that. But I think he's solid. I mean, you guys got to remember, these are the 40 best cards in my team right now, at least in our opinion. So I do think, like, any card on this list, even if they're in D tier, like Allen Houston, Joel, those cards, like, they're still going to be very, very runnable in competitive play or just in general and unlimited. So just take that into mind. Don't, saying, oh my God, these cards are in D tier, like, we think they're ass.
Yeah.
That's not what we think. But
it's a great
Marbury,
point.
Super good defender. I mean, one of the best defensive point guards in the game, besides the tall one.
Right, but that's the thing. He made a good point. These are the top 7 to 10 players at their position in the game, basically, with the exception of 1 or 2 guys. Like, all of these guys are really, really good cards. So just because we put them in D tier doesn't mean they're a bad card. They're just not to the elite tier that most of these cards are. That's all that is. Magic is going to go S tier for me. That's my opinion. I do think he's the best point guard in the game right now because of his size. The way I play, I like the fact that he's super switchable defensively. This is the best defensive Magic we've gotten early in the year that I can remember, and I started playing 2K like consistently in 2K19. So I just love his defensive ability, considering he's not going to be your primary ball handler regardless. The only PG that we're going to have high up on this list that is more of a primary ball handler is Lamelo. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think on this one, we're just going to have to agree to disagree, because on my list, I'd have him B tier. I'm not even trolling.
Beat what?
I don't think he's a top 7 point guard. I don't think he's top 7.
Okay, I'm going to need an explanation, because I literally think he's the best point guard in the game.
Okay, so now, I understand playstyle. I think for a guy like JC, or a guy like, that's more of the comp scene, I do think he could be like a top 2, top 3 point guard, and JC has number 1, I think he does.
Yeah,
right?
I think he's the best point guard in the game right now.
I think for the average person that uses the card, though, I know you're not using him as a ball handler. I know how to use the card. Like, I know how you're supposed to use him, but I feel like for a majority of people, I don't know. For me, I like a guy like Penny more because I feel like he does more on the court. I like Lonzo because he's not as good defensively, but he's way better offensively.
Is he, though?
In my opinion. Shot-wise, I like him more.
His jumper's a little bit better. He's smaller. He's not going to standing dunk as consistently. And he doesn't move as well. I know Magic's dribble style stinks, but Magic has one thing going for him. He's 6'9" with Lillard behind the back. That's the best behind the back in the game. If you space the floor and use that, it's really, really good.
Yeah, the Lamelo behind the back, Dame behind the back is definitely elite. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go too much into it because I want to waste everyone's time. But I think we're just going to have, I mean, I would say the highest I would go is A tier. But yeah, for your tier list, we'll go.
I'm leaving him in S tier. Penny's going to go A for me. I like him a lot, but he's borderline. Penny's borderline, but so is Lamelo to me. I feel like both of those guys are kind of borderline. Like,
I think on that decision, it'd be between Magic and Penny. Because, I mean, for you, they're probably the 2 best point guards. So if you want to go Magic, you go Magic. If you want to go
I'm putting Penny in A. I'm going to go A for Penny. Really, really good card. I actually started him in qualifiers over Magic, but looking back, I probably should have started Magic, in my opinion, for my playstyle. But Penny's really good. Like, I think he's one of the most complete PGs in the game. Does a lot of things well. Release could be better, but he's very, very good for sure. I think he's A. PG is also going to go A, in my opinion. I don't think he's S. He's not better than like Giannis at the 3, even though I think Giannis is more of a 4. Obviously, Tim Thomas we'll get to later, and then LeBron. I don't think he's like a top 3 small forward, so I like him a lot. Very good. The only auctionable opal in the game, which is really weird that they dropped him at the timing they did. But regardless, I think he's A.
I would say, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Of everybody in A tier, other than Kristaps, who do you think Hakeem is better than?
Hakeem?
Is he better than any other card in A tier? But
Lonzo and maybe Larry.
He's better than. Is Larry that bad?
I think. Well, we haven't used Larry. That's the thing. We talked about this. We talked about this in Evan's video. Larry's not out yet. We just included him on this list based on what he think he's going to be. Obviously, he has basically every shooting badge in the game off. Defensive badges are also really, really good. Like, his stats and badges are phenomenal, but his release is terrible and his SIGs suck. That is really important.
Thing with Larry though is I think I saw Splash talking about this. I think he's going to play the 4. He's got 92 interior defense, and he's got, Hall of Fame. Well, he doesn't have any good.
Okay,
but he's the gold. He's the on gold though.
But he doesn't even have normal leaner. Like, he could play the 4, sure, but he's 6'9" at the 4. He's gonna get killed by double bigs. Like a Dwight at the 4 is just gonna eat him up on the glass.
Sure.
And on the interior, like, I don't know, bro. Like AD, Dwight, Tim Duncan, Giannis, guys like that at the 4, just have more size, more interior ability, offensively and defensively, rebounding, all those things. He's not bad. I mean, he really isn't. He's a very good card, stat and badge-wise, but the animations kill him.
Okay. All
right. Pippen.
Yeah, I think he made.
I think Pippen goes B.
Agree.
He was great.
He's a good small forward.
He was the best card in the game for a while. Amazing level 40. We need more level 40s like that. Trust me, we'll complain about level 40 later. But I can't put him higher than B. I just can't. At this point in the year, his longevity was great. You can still use him competitively. The fact we got a card who was available 2 weeks into the game coming out and like 2-3 months later is still a competitive level card, a B tier guy, a top 20, 25
still
card in the game.
Forward.
He's a top 20 to 25 card in the game. Like, that's awesome. We need more level 40s like this that have that type of longevity. But at this point, he's just not good enough to be A tier, in my opinion. Yep. Ralph Sampson, a little controversial. I'm going B. Is that too high? Have you used him?
Actually haven't used him, so I can't say too much, but
okay.
You have to explain a little
so
bit.
I used this card. He's 7'4", which is really big. That's very valuable. He's one of the tallest centers in the game. But the thing about the other guys who are that tall, with the exception of KP, Arvidas has 45 speed. Big Z has 45 speed. Yao Ming, George Merson, those dudes have 25 speed. Like, these guys are slugs. I know Ralph isn't fast. 60 speed, 60 SL is slow, but it's a lot better at 7'4". He can hit an open 3. His release is not horrible. It's very similar to Dwight's, actually. And he's a really good interior defender, really good rebounder. I think he's B tier because he can hit an open 3 and his size is so valuable and he's not so horrendously slow compared to those other really slow bigs that he gets played off the court defensively, and his length helps him catch up as well. That's the thing about guys that big is they don't have to be crazy fast to be good defensively, even on the perimeter, because of how long they are. It allows them to catch up, get contests, get blocks, get things like that.
I think I would have to ask then, do you notice a difference on the defensive end and like height wise than a guy like Kareem? Like, is there that much of a difference? Because he's only 2 inches taller, and wingspan is, I think, 3 inches
I think
taller,
interior defensively, probably. That's about the only area in which I would say he's better than Kareem. But Kareem's the best center in the game, though.
Yeah, so I guess you're comparing him to him. Okay, yeah. So, but you didn't have Ralph top 5 centers, right?
I mean, he's borderline, but no, probably not.
Better than Brook?
They're on the same level.
Probably, right?
They're on the same level. I mean, he might be better than Brook. You can make the argument. Ray Allen's going to go D for me. You just have too many good shooting guards.
Oh, you don't think he's better than a guy like DeMar?
Debatable. DeMar's bigger, better player build. Ray's release is probably a little better. Defensively, they're going to play about the same. He's a same slasher, I'd say. I mean, DeMar maybe a little bit better slasher. I don't know.
Yeah. They should be on the same tier. So I think they're both D or both C in my opinion. But you can go D tier if you want.
I'm gonna stick with D tier. I think I'm gonna stick with it because I don't feel like he plays quite as good as his stats and bad as say. To be fair, I'm gonna put Ricky Davis in S tier.
I agree. I mean, even though he's the third best shooting guard, he's the third best shooting guard in the game, in my opinion. I still think he's top 10.
But we only have one PG and one center. I mean, we're gonna have a couple other guys who can play the center position, but one primary main center and Kareem in that S tier. Like, it's not just the top 2 players at every position. I think Ricky Davis is the best shot creator, not named Tim Thomas, in the game, and that's super valuable. A guy who can get you a bucket. 100%. He's a good defender. He's got normal leaner. Like, he's an elite slasher as well.
He's got some of the best sigs. He's got one of the best jumpers in the game. I mean, he can do everything on the court at a very high level, and he's going to be, like JC said, one of the best shot creators, taking people off the dribble, able to take people off the dribble, create their own shots. And one of the only cards in the game you can actually sort of 3-hunt with. Him and Tim Thomas are the only cards. You would agree, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Of a 3-hunter.
They're the only real 3-hunters with that type of sigs in the game.
Yeah. Even Lamelo, he doesn't have good sigs, so he can't really.
Sigs are okay. He just needs better badges. But Ron Artest, we have Jimmy Butler in B, so I feel like we have to put Ron Artest in B.
You're that high on Ron Artest, then?
I am, because his release is really good and he's a great defender.
His release is really elite. I think I was underhyping, appreciating how good this Ron Artest card is, because now that I'm thinking about it, he's a much better defender than guys like DeMar, Ray Allen, Clyde. He's a much better defender. He's got a better jump shot than all 3 of those guys.
And he's not a horrible shot creator.
Debatable. Yeah, I think I'm kind of hating on Ron Artest. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's better than those guys. Yeah, I would agree with B tier.
Russ, I'm gonna put C, just because of how incredible of a slasher he still is. He's a terrible interior defender compared to most of the PGs who are the best PGs at this point. But
what?
Am I
really?
Yeah. I mean, where would you put him?
Oh, B tier. It's nothing crazy, but C, really?
He has 50 interior. He gets
I
destroyed.
understand that, but the card like I was streaming one time and this card literally he scored 25 points in the first quarter and he got an and one every single possession. Like this card sometimes like
he has
just
the
feels
best
so
flashing
broken.
animations in the game. That is true. For
Yes,
whatever
he
reason, he
literally-
dunks the ball or draws
and
fouls
ones-
more than literally every single other card at any position in the game. That is what he does at a ridiculously good level.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd say B tier, but I could agree with C tier if you have a guy like Gary Payton. I think they're close. I mean, Gary's the better defender. Russ is the way better offensive card. Really depends what you need. So, for me, like I said, I'd probably go B tier just because, I mean, the card's unstoppable on the offensive end, especially with how the game is this year. But I think C tier.
He's becoming more stoppable with the tall PGs and things like that for sure. Tim Duncan
Yeah,
is
that is true.
our second to last S tier card, in my opinion. I don't even think it's really a debate. Like, I don't think Evans can disagree with me. Capable release. Really, really incredible defender. He rebounds really well. Stats and batters are amazing. Very versatile. Can play the 4, can play the 5. Really, really good.
I think this might be kind of surprising. I have him actually as the top 5 card in the game.
I think he's right. I think I had him top 5 in my ranking. I do. I like. He's really,
I
really
don't know.
good.
I had a number 5.
Yeah.
The number 5.
Best.
He's not on the same level. Yeah, we'll talk to Tim Thomas. That's
The best card in the game is Tim Thomas. Still, like,
Yeah. Just don't-
but like,
not much to be said.
yeah. I mean, he's the best card in the game. He's got perfect sigs, basically. I mean, not perfect sigs, but for this point in the year, they're basically perfect sigs. I mean, what can you complain about? Incredible release, incredible size. Can play the 3, can play the 4. Great defender. Nothing to complain about.
Nope.
T-Max going B. Is that crazy?
Really? No, I don't think it's crazy, but yeah, I think I'd lean toward. I think I'll go low A tier, but like I actually had him on top. I had him at a top as a top 10 card, but
What?
I think I know. I think I've changed my opinion on that one, so I think I got a lot of hate for that. So I probably could check my comments. I probably got actually flamed for that, but yeah, I don't
He's
know.
high, I think he's high B. I think he's probably the best card in B, but
I'm about to say he's probably better than every card in B tier. Because for me, I'd say he's better than Hakeem.
you're right. We can go A tier. We can go A tier. I think I'll agree with you on that one.
Dude, because he's
All
the
right.
best card in B tier by far. So
I want to save this this man for last. So we're gonna go John Wall now. I'm gonna put him in C. I think he's very good. I think I'm gonna put him in B. I think he's Russell Westbrook, but he can play interior defense. Not quite as incredible of a slasher, but still really, really good. He's got a better release than Russ. I think B is fair. I think he's the best short PG in the game.
yeah, I think for me, I'd probably flip flop that, go John Wall C and go Russ B. But that's just really preference. I think that's just
Wall's
I
just
like
a
more
much better
rim guy.
defender and a much better,
He's a better
shooter.
defender. Sure, I agree with that. But just for me, I know the driving dunk and the stats might look the same, but Russ is a way better finisher in my opinion for like getting and ones and contact dunks. But yeah, I think it's fair. B tier is definitely fair.
I'm gonna put Worthy in B as well. Pretty high up in B. Like I think he's really, really good. I think out of the cards in B, actually, he's probably the best card in my opinion overall, just because of how versatile he is. He can play the 4 better than almost any of like the small forward type guys. He competes on the interior. He's got normal fade, solid release. Really, really good card in my opinion.
I would agree. I think B tier is fair. Middle high B tier.
Yeah. All right. So this last card, we have Trey Young, who is without a doubt the worst card on this list by a mile. He might not be a top 100 card in the game. I do not care. To be fair, if y'all know me, y'all know I'm not a huge Trey Young fan in the first place. In fact, I'm kind of the opposite. I just don't like him. But I'm not going to get into my Trey Young dislike. He's a terrible card. He is the worst level 40 we have ever gotten since they started doing level 40 in 2K21. So we're 2.5 years, and he's the worst card we've ever gotten by a pretty significant margin as a level 40. His release is good. His sigs are good. He does nothing else on the court. He is an absolute midget. He can't dunk the ball. He plays absolutely no defense. He's literally like maybe even worse than that Opal Chris Paul that came out at the beginning of season 1. He's Kemba Walker. Like, he's horrible. The card is not good at all. It's almost disrespectful, I feel like, that 2K gave us this level 40 card this season and then decides not to give us any other level up cards. We're not getting Tuesday packs. We're not getting content throughout the week. The Moments cards have been a joke. I'm going to stop ranting because I don't need to say anything else negative, but like, this season has been a mess in general. But Trey Young is just, he's not good at all.
I mean, I don't. That was funny. Listen to that rant. I agree with pretty much with everything you said, but yeah, I mean, talking about Trey Young, like I said, guys, I put him on this list not because I don't think he deserves to be on this list. I could probably name 10, 15 more point guards that aren't even on this list that are better than him, but I just threw him on this list because he just came out. He's a level 40, so I thought I'd throw him on this list. But yeah, definitely the worst card in D tier, and JC's right.
Would
about
you
him.
like
He's
to
an
hear
absolute midget.
an absolutely insane take that I don't think is that insane?
Oh, I know exactly what you're gonna say.
No, what am I gonna say?
I'm gonna say it because I want to see what you say.
Ruby starter John Morant is better than Trey Young.
I didn't think you were gonna say that. I thought you were gonna say Jose Alvarado, but never mind.
No, Jose Alvarado's not better than Trey Young. That Jose Alvarado card is terrible.
I thought,
but
you said, like,
but Andrew Nembhard's better than Trey Young. That moment Andrew Nembhard got last week is better than Trey. I think you could make an argument that starter John Morant, who everybody got for free on the first day of the game and took like 30 minutes to Evo, is a better card than Trey Young because he can dunk and he plays just as good defense. He's bigger player build. Release is just as good. I know he's not nearly as good of a shooter. His badges are obviously way, way worse. I don't care. This Trey Young card is that bad. He wouldn't have played in season 1 if he was the level 40.
Oh, he wouldn't have played.
Like, I mean, the game has been out for what, over 3 months? Or 4 months. Yeah. Like, I think it's 3 months. Yeah. I think it's 3 months, isn't it? Because October, November. Yeah, no, a little over 3 months now. And
yeah.
I don't know. I'm done ranting. The video's long enough as is, but like,
you can just hear the pain in his voice. You can hear the pain in your voice.
Like, I don't understand the thought process behind this card. I get that it's a winter season and ice Trey, but like, I don't know. This isn't really supposed to be a rant video. D'Lo would have been a way better level 40 card who could actually dunk and has some size. Come on now. But like, I don't know. It's almost disrespectful, I feel like, of 2K to give us this card and be like, oh, here, and then no content and be like, oh, have fun. Great season. Stay tuned to the NBA 2K MyTEAM Twitter page for the latest updates. Like,
oh, man.
I've complained enough. This is a best cards tier list, not a rant video. Maybe I should make a separate rant video. I don't know, but regardless.
We should do a collab rant video.
And to be fair, I think Evan agrees with me. Like, I know I'm the one really complaining, but I'm not the only one with this thought process.
I agree. Like, I mean, yeah, if we're talking about Trey and the content, it's terrible. I'm not, like I said, it's the best card tier, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But yeah, no, I mean, season is pretty ass. Definitely the worst season probably in my team history. I mean, season 3 was really bad last year, but
right now it is the worst start to a season in my team, and it's not particularly close. Like, I would take that Opal Yusuf Nurkic season from 2K21 over this season for sure. Like, it's just ridiculous. And actually, maybe me and Evan should make a rant video because I think that'd be fun because we've already given y'all a preview of that. So maybe we'll do that next week or something, depending on how the content goes. But because that would actually be a lot of fun. But regardless, that is going to do it for this video because we've already gone long enough. Again, thank you to Evan for coming on. Go watch his video as well. I'll leave a link to all his channels and stuff in the description. Appreciate y'all for watching. A lot of fun making this. I honestly enjoyed complaining as well because I wanted to get that off my chest. But yeah, regardless, thanks again, Evan. If y'all did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.